One of the first things I look for is the available light. Today we have a very cloudy day, so I'm looking at possibilities of where I can get some beautiful rim light with the sun, seeing if I can get backlit portraits. But I also love to get my subject interacting with the environment. So because we're at a lighthouse, I know for sure I'm gonna get some wide angle shots, but I also want to use some of the rocks here on the lakeside, but I also love some of the lines. So the first thing that I saw when I got to this location was this tree, and it does have some beautiful brown tones for this photo shoot. I knew that I wanted to go with earth tones, and so immediately I know I can get a very simple shot of maybe the subject standing or sitting on the rocks, but use the tree to frame the shot, and then still get a little bit of texture because we do have some whites and blues, and that'll be an awesome image when I do my final color grading. In my work, I love having my subject interact with the environment. So as I'm location scouting, we see these beautiful rocks. There's multiple things I can do. I can have the subject sit, I can have her stand, I can have her lean up against this rock, and I can get 3 different looks in one simple spot. And as I was mentioning, we have this beautiful tree. We're gonna use that as framing. We get the beautiful blues, we get the beautiful texture in the clouds. And so this is a shot that I can definitely work and make it look great. I am gonna be using a 35mm lens. Once again, I'm in this beautiful location. I wanna show it off. I don't wanna use the highly compressed lens like an 85 or a 135 and really just blur out the background. I'm gonna try my best to really show off this location. Fortunately, I don't have the clouds to diffuse the light. Now, I love this composition, but of course we're gonna get this hard shadows in the shot, or this harsh lighting, I should say. So I'm gonna have Olivia come in with the reflector. I'm gonna shoot some natural light. Because the sun's coming in this direction, it's gonna hit that diffuser. We're still gonna get some beautiful, gorgeous light. And then I'm gonna see what it looks like bringing in the strobe. So Olivia, if you could please raise up the reflector. And one of the most important things as I'm shooting is I'm looking for inconsistencies like right here on the hand. I don't want the hand to have harsh light and then we get a line of that diffuse light. So Olivia, when you're holding that, if you can either move around just like that. And then, like I mentioned earlier with the pose, we'll try to keep the pose within this little frame here, okay? Beautiful, all right? And so now we're gonna compare and see what it looks like. We're just adding just a little bit, a punch of light. When I shoot naturally, I try to shoot a little bit overexposed, opposed to underexposed. So I'm gonna go, let's put my power, I'm gonna start at 7.8. You know, people ask me the question all the time, it's like, how do you figure out your power output? If you're doing high speed sync, the higher the shutter speed, I already know that the power output's gonna be at 7, 8, or 9. So it's always a good starting point. So let's go here. We're gonna go 3, 2, and 1. The hands, keep them like that. That looks really cool. Just move your arm back just a little bit so it doesn't block your face. Yep. Okay, and just to recap for this shot, we had the harsh sun coming in, decided to bring a diffuser, saw that, hey, we don't need to use strobes for the shot out some natural light, and then compare it with some of the strobe shots using the diffuser with the strobe. Let us know in the comments if there's a specific look that you'd liked, the natural light or the strobe shot with the diffuser. After I already found my first spot, I'm walking around and I'm noticing that the sun, we're getting that beautiful highlight within those rocks there. So immediately that tells me I can have my subject stand or sit there and use the sun as a free light source, as a rim light. Okay, so let's go ahead and walk down. Let's go ahead and check this out. Now, one of the problems that might happen is that we do have the lighthouse there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit it in a 35mm lens. I did bring a 24mm, but what I'm gonna do before I even tell my subject to come in is I'm going to check out and check the framing basically with my camera and see what I can create. So I'm gonna come up closer and I'm gonna see what I can fit within my 35mm lens. And look at this, this is just gorgeous because the sun is hitting the green trees and it's just giving it that nice beautiful glow. If this was diffused, what's gonna end up happening is that tree is gonna basically go into silhouette. It ends up getting very black and then dark, and you lose a lot of that detail. Now I don't want to have to push the shadows in Lightroom or Capture One. And you can see the difference right there, that the sun got covered up by the clouds. If I can get that glow, that's gonna help the shot. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and check out the framing and see if this is a 24mm shot or a 35mm shot. So based on my framing, based on what I'm seeing here, I should be able to make it work. I can definitely have my subject within this little platform here, and I'm gonna have the lighthouse in the background. So already I can see that beautiful little rim light. That's what we were talking about earlier, getting her position. If I position her here, we don't get that extra free light source. We don't get that like 2-light setup look. Positioning her maybe just a couple of feet away, we're getting that. The wardrobe is awesome. We got the oranges, means we get beautiful complementary color scheme with the blue sky that we have, so good. All right, Marco, it's a little too split. We're gonna bring that light more 45 degrees. Maybe just even more, dude, would be fine. Okay, and if we can feather that light a little bit to the right. I want to start moving around. I try not to just stay in the same spot over and over again, because I'm just going to basically just get the same shot over. So I'm going to try to get on the rock, see what I can get up here. And like I was thinking earlier, after I was doing the location scouting, I walked back, I saw all of this beautiful pattern. And so I figured with the orange and the rocks, all the color is going to be on her. She's immediately going to pop if I shoot a top-down angle. So I'm going to get that and just immediately get a different look. Even though I'm not gonna get the lighthouse, it's okay. Not every shot has to be with the lighthouse in the background. We're gonna go 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Riley, what if you're tuning your nose away from the camera? That's beautiful. Is there any way that you can, for one of the poses, maybe put one of your hands like underneath your chin, maybe over the hair? And can we bring the hair down on one of the sides? So let's bring it on the left side. 3, 2, and 1. Now, because I am using a 35mm lens, I'm trying to keep Riley right in the middle of the frame. I had that question asked, like the distortion with the 35mm lens. So I'm trying to keep her right dead in the middle to prevent that distortion, since I'm going for more of a little bit of a close-up.